Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Now, listen, I know some of you that watch ICP said, how can you be so certain that we are going to have pumps confirmed?" You know what I'm saying? Clickbait this, clickbait that. Guys, you have to realize that the technical analysis, right? The details are in the technical analysis. I don't need to tell you. First of all, the point of my channel is not to tell you what has happened. Okay, yes, that is like, of course, 5-10% part of it because we cover has happened, but it's also saying what will happen, right? That's the point of technical analysis. Anyone can just look at the chart and be like, "Oh yeah, guys, we're just doing this. It pumped. Oh, now I think it's gonna go up higher. Now I think it's gonna go lower," right? You have to be careful, by the way, with those types of channels because I've seen last cycle where things have pumped up a drastic amount during the peak of altcoin season, and people are like, "Oh yeah, oh, we're gonna go more in fan base for Shiba or for this coin, and it's gonna continue to go higher and higher." And if anyone took those people's advices, well, they got wrecked. Okay. So, yes, I will be making sometimes premature calls. And, I will be making certain calls because I'm confident based off what I see on, you know, the charts. So, look, people, I do expect a breakout coming soon. We can clearly see that we are in this type of range, right? We are in this type of zone. Generally speaking, speaking, we've been kind of ping ponging. Let's just say from $6, 620 to roughly 460, 480, right? Roughly between those prices, we have been ping ponging. Now, one thing I can tell you right away is we have one top, two top, three top, and I expect a nice breakthrough very soon. Now, I've seen this multiple times, and I'm going to show you what usually indicates that there's going to be, you know, a breakout, right? Not only have we sold off very aggressively for months and we shifted, the structure from selling off to sideways, but usually when there's a triple top, and I've seen this with gold, and I'll show you with gold, when we pull back down, right, we usually only retrace 50% before we break through. And we can see, right, when we did retrace, we went to 50%, and I expect a breakthrough. I'm going to show you something with gold, okay? Now, I might be thinking, gold, what the hell does that have to do with ICP, guys? Listen, the markets, they practically all work the same for the most part. I think this one will be valid. I think this one will be valid. Let's go in the monthly. This was, yeah, okay, so this was literally perfect. So look, gold, right? One top, two top, three top. And then eventually, when it broke through, it retested off the tops and then they just kept going. But what do you notice off the third top? When you go here and you take it here, it practically retraced 50%. Now, it's not literally going to be accurate where it's going to be literally 50%, but it's always 50 to like 55% it retraces, and then it has the expansion. Okay. One top, two top, three, expanded, retraced a little bit to retest off of these tops, right? Boom, clear as day. And then it just kept going. Now, this is the monthly, right? This is the monthly. ICP is not necessarily on the monthly, but it is on the weekly. And I expect things to play out pretty much the same. Okay. It is on the monthly and it is on the daily when we zoom in and see the clear picture. So we have, once again, one top, two top, three top, and we retrace pretty much perfectly 50%. Okay. Like I said, we could slip a little bit more, doesn't matter, but usually it's roughly 50%. And I really do expect ICP to have an insane rally in August. I do. There's nothing suggesting that we won't, right? Even this weekly candle, when you look at the weekly candle, look at how it retested off of, right? This is our zone, okay? Like, look, if we close all this and we look at where the candles are closing, we can see we retested and closed above this zone, right? We retested and closed above this zone for the first time as a sell candle in months. Okay, so the details are here, people. The details are as like they're right in your face. Okay, so Trust the technical analysis. I know some people like to jump the gun and say, nothing's confirmed, clickbait this, clickbait that. But you'll see, right? You will see. Not only that, we've also been here for such a long time, right? We talked about how this is already a massive support. And like I said, I expect August to be great. Now, there could still be a few days of a sell off just because we do have an annoying gap at roughly 114K, right? 114.5K. Very, very annoying. We also do have a gap at 118.5K. So very annoying, right? Very, very annoying. We have, boom, what is that? Pretty much 2%. And then the other one's pretty much 5, might go 5.5%. So we could see ICP have a fake out. So, just saying that right now, right, doesn't, I'm not saying August, all 30 days are going to be pumping, right? We could have an initial fake out in the beginning of August, late July, beginning of August, somewhere there. But I do expect August to be a very green, healthy candle overall. Okay. I expect for us to be pumping. Like I said, we have been in this territory, right? We were going from selling off practically from beginning of December. You can see general trend has been sells. And then kind of around, the first week of April, we shifted from selling off to then going sideways. And what happens after you go sideways when before you sold off? Well, pumps, consistent pumps. So I expect recoveries, people. I expect for us to go to 760. And I expect us to kind of go quickly, even by the end of August or mid August, to $10. And would not surprise me if by the end of August, possibly, we already recover back to $12. Okay, so $10 to $12 is going to be my target for August. Okay, that is my personal target. If things get stalled out, I would be really, really surprised. Okay, because I do believe, based off all the evidence, based off all the technical analysis, that the expansion is coming. But yeah, people, we did call out practically these buys too. You can even go back to old ICP videos. We called out buying around 450, 460, and you literally, practically the bottom, like pretty much the bottom. 450 is crazy, right? So look, you can say what you want, but the evidence, the data, all the videos are there. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys think of ICP. Where's it going to go? Where do you think it's going to go over the next couple of weeks? What is your price selling point? I know some people are saying like, oh, I'll be lucky if I get $20 and da da da. I mean, $20, guys. What the hell is $20? Is this your first altcoin season? Do you not realize that those 4 to 6 weeks of altcoin season are like the most like crazy brain dead like market conditions ever? Like it is absolutely brain dead with how things pump and how much they pump. And if it is your first time, oh, buckle up because it is going to be very, very exciting. But you must stay composed because when you don't stay composed and you think things are going to pump forever, you will get caught in the trap. But that is why I'm here to help. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.